Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at legitpodcast.com. It is Wednesday night, March 29th, 2023, which is 03292023 for the math geeks. I don't have to really do much there because 3 goes into 9. You get another 3. So many things we can do. The 2 times 3 is 6. Plus another time. Anyways, it is Wednesday night. Time for some legit paranormal news as we see it. I am King Mike L.
And I'm Dreamy David Barr.
And now for our top story, David.
Mike, you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
No.
I have a friend who has it regularly, and it's pretty awful. So tonight, we're going with creepy things that happen during sleep paralysis.
All right, wait, let's get a basis of what we consider sleep paralysis here now. Now, that's when you're sleeping, but it feels like you're paralyzed, hence the name sleep paralysis, right?
So you get stuck between waking and sleep. Something happens, like you snore or you experience some sleep apnea, and it wakes up your mind. But when we sleep, our brains actually paralyze our bodies so that we can't act out our dreams, because the mind doesn't know the difference between real and imaginary, or real and what we're dreaming. So you're stuck there with your body paralyzed, but now you're fully conscious. And there are some creepy things that happen to people.
So I'm laying there, technically, I'm looking up at the whatever.
You're asleep.
But now I'm awake.
Yeah.
But I'm not waking up. I'm just laying there.
Yeah. But you can't move.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But you're fully conscious. So
very, very scary thought.
It is. And my friend, I'll give a shout out to Mike Babilato, the taco eating king of Rhode Island, also returning stand-up comic. Mike can pound like at least a dozen tacos in one sitting, no problem.
Pretty good.
But he inspired this week's story. So sleep paralysis, it happens upon falling asleep or awakening, or like I said, you're sleeping, you snore, you have a little bit of sleep apnea, and your mind wakes up, but your body's still paralyzed. And this affects about 1 in 5 people.
A lot?
Yeah, it is. It's more common than I thought. And during this state of sleep, it's REM sleep. You're in REM, you're dreaming, and you're having really vivid dreams. And again, to prevent you from acting out these dreams, your body paralyzes your body. And this is all controlled by chemicals in your brain.
Oops. Well.
So you wake up in the middle of the night. It's very common to feel pressure on the chest and not being able to breathe. And then some people see things like demons and entities and things like that. So you wake up, you feel this menacing presence. You might be able to see it. You can feel it when you open your eyes. It's terrifying. I've only had this happen to me once.
Wait, sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a local group of ghost hunters, and someone had attacked them online in a blog saying that they faked a lot of their footage and stuff. And this person claimed to be a demonologist. And for some stupid reason, I fell asleep wondering what it would be like to encounter a demon. And if you don't know this, our thoughts as we're drifting off to sleep, they influence our dreams and our experiences.
Is that why I'm always trying to pay the mortgage in my sleep?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun dream.
So these things are called sleep paralysis demons. The one that I encountered, so I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden I feel this pressure on my chest and I can't breathe. So I open my eyes. There's this thing in my face with like yellow eyes and giant teeth. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on? And I close my eyes, and it's I literally prayed for this thing to go away. It was super creepy.
How old are you?
I was probably mid-20s when this happened.
Were you drinking?
No.
Any drugs?
No.
Okay.
I had been experimenting a lot with meditation and binaural beats, and I had gotten to the shamanism stuff. So it was probably around age 30 then, because I had been doing the sound to alter my consciousness and getting into all these things like Reiki and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So how people describe these demons is that it leaves you trapped in your body. Again, you feel pressure on your chest. You can't breathe. You can't move. You can't scream. Like your vocal cords are still paralyzed. Now, for some people, it's a faceless, shapeless presence. It's trying to suffocate them. Other people say it's a creepy old hag with claws. I'll go into some cultural beliefs around this. Some people think it's an alien experience. There are studies that show that lucid dreamers can recreate alien abductions in their lucid dreams. And so for others, like me, it looked like a demon. Some people, it looks like dead relatives. Different cultures have these different explanations of sleep paralysis demons.
Could I pick who it was that was crawling up on me while I was asleep, Dave? Or that's not up to me?
So it's kind of up to you. Some science will tell you that it's up to your brain, but mystics and shaman will tell you it's up to the things or people that you've attracted to yourself that exist in non-ordinary reality.
So basically, I could tonight go just keep saying Samantha Fox, and there's a slight chance I could be sleep paralyzed by I don't know if that's a word, by Samantha Fox.
So you might dream about her. But usually these sleep paralysis experiences are not very pleasant.
Yeah, well, she probably wouldn't be pleasant. There's a lot of baggage that probably came with Samantha Fox.
Probably. And which Samantha Fox are you talking? Like Samantha Fox from when we were younger, or Samantha Fox at this age?
Naughty girls need fun, something fun or love too.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
She just made great posters. I didn't like her music. I didn't like anything. Just great posters. Go back and just Google any Samantha Fox poster you want, my friend, and then just be happy that it was the 80s for a split second. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Google Samantha Fox and click on images is what you're saying.
Oh my God, yeah. It's 80s posters. Like they were just. The only other one that was more iconic was Alyssa Milano with in the Devils, New Jersey Devils hockey jersey. She's holding the whatever. I used to like her. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did too. She kind of went off the deep end, though, didn't she?
We figured out who the boss was.
Yeah,
it was Samantha.
It wasn't Tony. Wasn't Tony. Hey, yo, hey.
Mona.
So the Canadian Inuits attribute sleep paralysis to the spells of shaman. They're saying that someone is putting a spell on you and causing these experiences to happen. In Japanese folklore, they say that it's a vengeful spirit that suffocates its enemies in their sleep.
Okay.
My friend Mike Babalado is Filipino, and they call it the hag. So it's this old woman that comes and sits on your chest and sucks the breath out of you and your life force, and that's how she keeps herself sustained and living.
Wait a minute, that was called the wife?
The hag.
My bad. I thought you said it sucked the energy out of you and just kept you from living. Is that what you just said?
That is what I said.
So I'm not right?
From my personal experiences, I can't say that that's correct, but I believe that there are people out there that would totally agree with you.
Okay. Well, we're on the same page with that. Let's go.
All right. In Brazilian folklore, the demon has a name, Pisadeira, which is Portuguese for she who steps. And according to them, she's a crone with long fingernails. She lurks on the rooftops at night and then walks on the chest of people who sleep belly up on a full stomach.
Oh, so she's got a whole. So in other words, when guys get agita from eating too much stuff like that you eat at night, you can get messed up dreams too. I noticed that with if you eat a lot of junk before you. I haven't. Yeah. time because I'm at that tender age where if I eat junk before I go to sleep, I'm up at 3 o'clock. I used to be able to sleep the whole night through with junk in my stomach, junk in the trunk, but then it would eventually, whatever. It is what
kind
it
of
is.
like in the Club Babyhead days when you'd get out of the show at like 1 a.m. and Charlie's trailer was there, and you'd get Charlie's cheese fries and a grape soda and whatever else. And
after I would get out, first off, Michelle Wilmot is saying hello to you.
Oh, hey, Michelle.
How
are you?
You know her. Yep. But what I was going to say was the best was going to was the name of the truck that was right next to the State House that had really bad.
Haven Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Providence, Rhode Island. Back in the day, you would go to Haven Brothers late
it's
night.
Still there. It's still there.
Well, you can still go, but here's what I remember. I remember it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe later. And I would always want 2 cheeseburgers, just mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. And the lady, without missing a beat, every time would say, "You want the double?" Just like that. And I would say stuff to her like, I don't want any doubles. I want 2 cheeseburgers, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. 2 separate cheeseburgers, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. You want a double? I swear to God, every time I ever did it. On top of that, if you ever looked at the grease that was on the grill, that was on your burger, the way the buns were so like just barely pulled out of the package, it was so stiff. And then the fries, the cheese fries, the junk that we would put on them, and we would sit there and just eat and lay on the steps like I guess where this a crone would come and dance on my stomach, because that's basically what I was doing.
Pretty much. I remember going to Haven Brothers once, and my friend ordered a steak sandwich, and it was 2 pieces of white bread with some mayo slapped on there and a little piece of steak in there. And that was their steak sandwich.
And they're like, "Be on your way. Now get out of our place. Go outside."
Drenched in the grease that you spoke of.
Oh, that's the flavor. It's called the
flavor.
I
think that's how we're alive now, and we survive through things. It's from consuming like the grease from that food truck.
Look, if you could make it 4 or 5 summers in a row of Haven Brothers at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean, come on. I'm going to live forever. I must have you know what I mean? Grease. I must have grease in my veins from that. Look, the only worst burgers I ever had were at URI. One of the places sold, I saw the package of the meat came in, and it was grade D. Grade D beef.
That's the stuff they used to serve us in high school.
Grade D. I'm like, really? We can't even get a grade C? A passing grade? All right. I ate it anyways. I'm sorry.
Hey, if you're hungry enough, anything will taste good.
Exactly. Now back to sleep paralysis.
Yes, let's move on to Egypt and parts of Italy. They believe that sleep paralysis is supernatural in nature. So someone is like putting a curse or a hex on you, or they're attacking you psychically. And then this leads into like those out-of-body experiences, and astral travel. So where yourself would leave the body and you could journey wherever. I think I'll do a story on that somewhere in the future. There's some pretty cool stuff about that out there. So sleep paralysis causes these spooky sensations. Some people floating out of their body, looking down on themselves, looking at the ceiling. I've actually had that happen too. That was pretty.
You saw yourself sleeping?
Yeah, like I had floated up to my ceiling and I was about this far from it, and I could see every little mark in the tiles and everything. And then I looked down and there was my body, and then boom, I snapped right back down into the body.
See, I'm glad I don't really remember any of my dreams. I would rather not remember my dreams and then wake up and, have something on my chest looking at me all kind of strange and crazy. And, it's not even somebody that I know. So, no.
It sucks. I wouldn't recommend it, Mike.
I'm not going to sign up for it. I don't know if there is. Right. I don't. In the breaker room, but I'm not going to sign up for it, Dave. I keep freezing. I don't know why, but it is what it is. And there you go.
So people are saying what's worse than becoming a ghost and having these out-of-body experiences or astral travel is encountering one. And again, we have the hag, the pisadera, crones, demons, dead relatives.
Can you say that your friend? Can you say your friend's name and then the Portuguese phrase for it again together? Like your friend's last name into that can see it, whatever you're saying. Go ahead.
Well, Mike's Filipino, but the
last name into that phrase without stopping.
Babalado Pisadera.
That's like a band. Oh, say it one more time.
Babalado Pisadera.
Babalado Pisadera. It's like a
Pisadera Babalato. Yeah. Hey, Pisadera Babalato. For you, for me.
They come in, we kiss everybody when they walk in. Hey, come here. It's like, no, come here.
Or I guess if you want to insult someone without, them knowing what it means, you just go, hey, Pisadera, how are you?
Pisadera. All right, go ahead. Before I start talking Italian gibberish. I will.
All right. Where was I?
Babalano,
so again, 1 in 5 people experience this stuff. And it includes other people say they've seen terrifying ghosts, shadow-like creatures that lurk in the corners of their rooms. They tend to slowly approach in on you, or you wake up and they're already on you. Some people report sensations of being violently choked and suffocated and having your chest crushed, which we've talked about. Some sleepers, Mike, if you do encounter Samantha Fox, some sleepers even report being sexually molested by the demonic figures. And then you get into the whole incubus and succubus thing. And
you got me wrong. I would not want to meet Samantha Fox for sexual reasons. I was a musician too, and I want to understand her genius in writing songs like "Naughty Girls Need Love Too" and.
Gotcha. So this is purely for research,
scientific reasons. News show, Dave.
These are vivid dreamlike experiences. They happen in the hypnagogic or hypnopompic states. They can seem real and frightening, and sometimes they're mistaken for nightmares.
How are they mistaken for nightmares?
Because some nightmares can be extremely vivid, and then when this happens, you're in that in between waking and sleep. So you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? Am I awake or am I dreaming? And some people can't differentiate between the two.
Still sounds like a nightmare. Still sounds like a nightmare. It's technically still a nightmare. It's more than it. It's like a nightmare plus. It's like a double whopper. You know what I mean? I didn't even know they made double whoppers. Back in the day, you actually had to order it and wasn't even on the menu. You just had to know somebody.
Or the double burger from Haven Brothers.
Oh, you want the double? Sorry. I do it every time I hear it. Exactly what she said.
So again, you're partially conscious when this happens. Mm-hmm. And that's like the creepiest thing about it. So you can't move. And you got these things happening to you. You can't move. You can't scream. You can't do anything. Now, scientists are saying that this is because our brains are statistical machines and master storytellers. So it's trying to make sense of all these things that are going on. So it's trying to tell you that that blurry shadow creature is your pile of clothes that's been sitting on the chair for months, or your jeans that have been hanging off the treadmill or the exercise bike for a couple of years. And then what's that?
They're actually, so instead of me thinking that it's my jeans hanging from the treadmill, I get to think they're demons.
Yeah. So scientists are saying that your brain's trying to make sense of all these things, especially because you can't move. And so you feel like you're being attacked. And then your brain is like, well, who could be attacking me? And it's taking in information from the area around you. And it's creating these stories.
I don't know about that. You're putting a lot in the brain on the brain. You're giving the brain a lot of options there. In other words, you're saying the brain is you're sleeping, and they're saying, but you're not really seeing like your genes as just a shadow and thinking that it's more. You're actually seeing more, which is like, I get it, I guess, because what you're in a deeper sleep or different type of sleep, your brain's in a different whatever, but still, our brains are strong enough to just give us a nightmare like that, right? I mean, basically, what I'm saying is, could a paralysis event be one, but also on another time just be nothing more than a bad nightmare?
It could be.
Thinks about sleep paralysis.
It could be. So they could be dreaming about being paralyzed and having these things happen to them. The other thing is science doesn't really have a ton of proof to back up their explanation. They don't have the brain scans that they need.
That's my point.
And they're saying, and this explanation only accounts for like when you see the blurry shadow kind of moving through the room. Because some people who experience this like report things in extremely vivid detail.
Vivid, like vivid detail?
Vivid detail. So
Dave,
like, for me, when I experienced the demon, I could tell you it had scaly skin, it had sharp triangular teeth, it had yellow eyes with black pupils.
Lizard
cat. And all I'm looking up at is the ceiling, and I'm feeling pressure on my chest. So I think that explanation accounts for some things like the blurry shadow guy, but when you have people experiencing things in this much detail, I think there's something else to it.
Well, I would agree on that part. I mean, I'm going to agree with that part of it. So basically, it's like a lizard cat that you're afraid of, like a lizard / cat with the eyes. The
kind
teeth.
of, yeah.
So
and so take a lizard, a cat, and the alien from Aliens, and like clump it all together.
That's truly bizarre. That is about as bizarre as if I were President Obama and I made a song.
Come on, be my baby. Come on, be my baby. Come on. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body.
Like that, right?
That could be a nightmare.
Yeah. All right. So now I know. I'm back on the same page as far as nightmares are concerned.
So science can kind of explain this, but in shamanic studies, these experiences tell us that when we're in that in-between waking and sleep state, we can access what's called non-ordinary reality. And it's in non-ordinary reality where various entities that are both malevolent and benevolent reside. So is it our mind playing tricks on us, like making sense of the pile of clothes?
And the ghetto boys?
Or are we accessing non-ordinary reality and there's something actually there?
You got that joke like a couple seconds in.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
You know what it is? At that point, I don't know. I think there's so much we don't know about the brain, if I'm speaking honest, that at that point, that whole sleep thing, like, yeah, I don't know what the mind is able to concoct on its own, and then I don't know what the mind is able to pick up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Waves, sound waves, any kind of waves. So I'm not. I go either way on that. I would lean, though, I'm going to be honest, towards most of them are just probably people having nightmares and incorrectly. Just you give me a list of anybody who says they did this, and I'm going to go, all right, it's going to be about 20% that they really didn't anyways. But with something like this, I believe that it happens. I've had multiple people like yourself tell me about this happening. But so I tend to find, and I would love to see if we could do a chart of the intelligent versus the people I speak to, dumb. The dumber people, they don't have dreams like that. They don't dream as vividly as that. They don't imagine that something like that could even be in their room. That's the whole point of being stupid that I love the best. God gosh, if you are like a dog, you can be smart and intelligent in one moment and then just your privates in another second. I don't know why I edited out licking and not. Anyways, my point is, it seems like the dumber you are, the happier you may be. So that's why I wonder sometimes, have they ever really just questioned and done a study on the dumb?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Hey, Jai's here, and she said, I have extremely vivid dreams. Jai, this show was did not receive an R rating or NC-17, as I remember. So I don't know if we want to get into that, but yeah, vivid dreams. So all right.
There's a lot of variables too, Mike. Like, maybe intelligence has something to do with it. Maybe
I think
certain foods trigger things, medications, prescribed or self-medicating.
The dumber you are, the less you know can hurt you. And that Bing song, which means we got a comment. Does that make sense to you?
I think kind of.
So I have one other thing really quick.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.
Dave,
are you gonna break into the bat dance now, Mike?
Now, Dave, that's when I was in the DC universe. It didn't go well. Did not go well for me in DC. I had it.
Like no one you met before. I'm running for the front when they're all running for the door, and I won't sit down.
That was perfect for that, Dave.
I was gonna say they're rebooting the DC universe, so maybe James Gunn will give you a chance at something again.
Oh God, I could be
Lobo.
No, Lobo's gonna go to, I think, Aquaman.
Yeah,
and Lobo's gonna be gigantic, but I think Pierce Brosnan, no one's as handsome as him. Never be. But Dr. Faith, give me a call. DC, call me back. I did the Joker for you once with Michael Keaton like 30 years ago. You think you can call me back? I'm sorry, Dave.
Dr. Fate's a cool character, too. He doesn't get enough love in the shows and all that stuff.
He was in Black Adam, and they were talking about like how powerful he was. They just kept alluding to how powerful he was, and he was yet another one of those superheroes that was just like, but I'm gonna hold it all back. That's my whole problem with what's the guy's name in Marvel, the blonde guy, the one that the Sentry, the one that could kill everybody.
He's basically like Superman.
He's beyond Superman. He's got the strength of 1,000 suns and a million suns with that. And he's so strong that they have to trick him into thinking he was never around, that he never did anything, that he was ever a superhero. Because when he is a superhero, it risks the chance of unleashing his negative side, which is just as evil and destructive as the good side is powerful, which is such a great concept because that's what everything's about. But he is Jai. So are we going to get a description of a dream soon, or are you going to just keep teasing us with the whole, hey, I have a dream. They're vivid. I dream continually. All right, well, tell us one. Like, I would like to read a dream then. All right, I'm sorry, dude. Here you go.
That's my story for the week. So
all right.
What do you got for us, Mike?
I've got one thing. Jean is out this week. Trying to find what she sent me. She sent us one thing. It's got to do with Arizona, some sort of UFO Arizona.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's.
That was not it. It took me a little bit to figure that out, but I'm pretty sure that was another David Hasselhoff video, and I apologize. I honestly, God, I don't know why Gene would do that to us. Dave, I want to talk about, and don't mind my cold, or the fact my face hurts. Oh, in local news, the Italian King Miguel broke his face again last week. It's now the fourth reported concussion in 16 months. I'm getting better.
Are you sure it wasn't the hag or the pizzadera?
You know what? I could have had 100 and I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? I dreamed that I live in a big house that is haunted. Wild animals live on my land. All right. What do we consider live animals? Do we mean like animals alive in my land? Wild animals, like what's wild? Lions, tigers, bears,
super pigs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like because all right. So I have a ridiculous thing about numbers. I've had it since I was a kid. It's almost like an OCD type thing where something about how math can just solve stuff and have definitive answers has always been appealing to me, as opposed to other things where and elephants. I don't think I would ever dream of elephants. I don't think I've ever dreamt of an elephant my entire life. I don't think I would ever dream of an elephant. I don't think my mind would allow myself to. Okay. So 528 hertz frequency. Didn't know anything about it. Started down this rabbit hole of me. So I didn't know that 528 hertz, it's nearly the precise center of the color spectrum. And it's the only number in the metric system that's also for the electromagnetic. So it's the sound, it's electromagnetic color spectrum and the sound spectrum. It's the only time where they're the same, where they meet in the same place. That was crazy to me. Like that's something that even look, that's how I'm saying, like, I was like, yeah, really? Well, all right. So then I'm reading about it, and it starts talking about how there's, 6 solfeggio notes, and then there's the 3 other notes that were discovered. So from those notes, they got the 9 notes sounds. And I'm just thinking numbers. The minute I heard that, I'm thinking 1 to 9, only single digits, right? So I'm looking at it. And they said that, and then again, 6 and 9 come up in this. And 6 and 9, and comes with me, 3, 6, and 9, Tesla. I digress. So I guess we decided that in 1939, the Rockefeller, whatever they were, I just say Rockefeller now because you could say it was a center or this or that. It was just Rockefeller. But they standardized the Western world's tuning to A440, which if you tune, everybody tunes to that as a standard tuning. The F sharp should be 741, exactly 741. So what they did was they've got this whole thing of notes where there's these numbers. The first 6 is 396, 417, 528, 639, 741, and 852, right? Those are frequencies, hertz, sound. So 528 is the magical sound that we want. That's the sound that everyone talks about. 528. That's that beautiful sound. They call it the God sound, the godlike, whatever. When matched with 741, it's considered the devil's interval, meaning that when you add that note, those 2 notes together are one of the worst sound that people hear, that we just immediately correlate with how bad it is, right? So I'm looking at that, and then I do the chart of where they go. From the sounds, they start with the 396 all the way around. I'm not going to show because it's like a pentagon, but it's a whole other thing. And I'm going through that, and I'm looking at, and then I'm reading more on it. And this, I'm sorry, I keep sniffling, but I've been sick. So one guy does this test where he takes, because basically what I'm getting at is, they say the body's something percent of water. I'm not going to argue with people anymore on this. Some people say 75%. Some go all the way up to 90%. Whatever you want to say. But either way, water is a gigantic conduit, right? Tesla was extremely interested in 3, 6, 9. He also knew that water was a great conduit. He also knew that putting copper wrapping around a magnet would actually increase its battery, right? So, before I get into the number aspect of it that blew me away, the idea that our bodies our DNA strands are constantly working with water, that they're constantly going through this, that there could be a copper wrapping to us that would increase our production. Yeah, that would make sense because there is definitely an energy within us that is going, right? We give off some sort of electrical current, right? There's got to be some proof that we're there, right? You put something on me, you'll see my heart's beat, I'm there. I'm giving off something. So do I think now, one, meditating at this sound and this light to try to get that together, would it help? Maybe. The idea of clearing yourself as far as sounds, as far as like your mood, your vibe. I do believe in vibes. I really have always believed in, like, if you're being positive, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a good day. It just means that you'll handle things better in a sense. And it really sounds stupid, but it's like if you're positive, you'll handle things better. Sounds dumb to say, but it's just true. So I went through all that, and then I started looking at all the hand gestures, which are called, oh God, I don't even know, mandas. I'm guessing at the word here, but like I didn't realize that this was for something, to putting pressure to here, or that the first two with the other ones tucked was for good luck or hoping for something. I always thought this was like, oh, get over here, but it's supposed to be like this. And then there's all these different, who knew, right? All these different ones that you're supposed to do that will line yourself up, bing, bing, boom. Now I'm reading all that, Dave, and I can be honest. I'm reading, I'm from a musician standpoint and just a guy who likes lights. The idea that those two frequencies actually get to a point where they almost meet, that is kind of weird, right? And it is weird how it all mathematically works out. But see, what I want to talk about, what bothered me as a kid, and forever has bothered me, is just numbers themselves and how I would get myself lost in them. And so let me explain. So you take numbers, right? When you double 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and when you double all the numbers, and then you do what I used to do. So I remember telling my kids this once. They were asking me a question on math division. I'm like, if it's a multiple of 3, like if all the numbers add up and they equal a multiple of 3, like if you add the numbers together, they come up to 12. 3 goes into 12. 3 will go into that number. So that's just from doing math. Like that's me being a math geek, even though I'm dumb. So when you double the numbers, added them all up, every number, you started to come out with 1, 2. And here's the thing: if it ended up being a double digit, what they would tell you to do is to add those two numbers together, and then there you go. So doubling came out to 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 repeated. If you look at our numbers, right? This is for every number other than, as we'll see, when you were halving them, like a 1, it came out to 1, 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, which is the exact order, but in reverse, number wise, adding up, like, so 6, 3, 6 with 9 did different, but like a 5, 15 is a 6, 14 is a numbers like that, right? Then I looked at the 3s and 6s, and the 3s and 6s, when doubled, are always 3s and 6s. It goes 3, 6, 3, 6, and then when they're divided, it still goes 3, 6, 3, 6. That I don't know what's going on there. If you double the numbers, you get 124875 repeated. If you divide them, half them, you get 157842 repeated. Now, when it comes to these magic numbers as the 3, 6, and the 9, the 3, it goes 3, 6, 3, 6 either way, double or whatever, multiples of these numbers. Base, let's call it base, the base digit. 9, right? I'm thinking, well, what's left for 9? Because 3 and 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, right? The other numbers got all the numbers going. 9s are always 9s. I didn't know that. I just found that about an hour ago. 9s are always 9s, double, brought down, this, that, the other. So 3, 6s, and 9s. The 3, 6, 9, when you just do the whole 9 through 1 circle, where they draw it, the triangle that forms between the 3, 6, and the 9 is it's like a perfect triangle. My question to you would be this. Doesn't it make sense that there is a chance that we are not hearing the tones or sounds that we should be hearing in order to live a healthy life, a natural life? Could it be possible that you could pump in frequencies that were almost similar to, say, like the devil's interval, just in like someone's voice that I have to listen to, and and that's the same thing. Like what I'm saying is, with this being the way it is, how the numbers work, Tesla's decision on this, how numbers break down, how they're exact, how our bodies are, how the DNA works, how we work off vibrations, how your body supposedly gets better, healthier when it's positive things. There's all, about all this stuff. There's all these different types of Reiki and things like that. So if there is that certain number thing that we're supposed to be at, is it possible then that we're played static? Maybe even a tone that we don't get. Like, they say subliminal messaging. Like,
yeah,
it's just like one of my favorite movies is with Roddy Piper, They Live.
Yeah, that's an awesome movie. I love that movie.
It's first off, great movie. Second off, the message behind it is fantastic, right? Because he puts on the sunglasses, it says like live happy, and it's like whatever, but I kept thinking, is it possible that there's stuff that you can do to control a population, keep people in line, keep them from overproducing, just through sound and light? In other words, trying to find that spot where they meet that's going to cause as much or throw off on people's bodies as you can. And could that be actually used as a weapon? This is where my mind went.
Well, I know, Mike, smell can be used as a weapon, actually.
Yeah, I believe that. I would believe that.
So say you're listening to two politicians. I don't mean to get you off track here, right? So you're in your recliner, you're consuming television, you're listening to some debates. Now, for candidate A, I can pump pleasant smells into the room, like apple pie, coffee, whatever you like, right? Because that creates a pleasant feeling in your mind and in your body, you're going to associate that feeling with that candidate. Now, say they switch over to candidate B, and he starts talking, and I pump in the smell of like rotten garbage and dead fish and stuff like that. You smell that, and you have all these unpleasant feelings and reactions. You're going to associate those with candidate B. So you can actually influence whether someone likes someone else that way through those smells. So if they can do that, why can't they do what you're saying? Maybe they can subtly play a certain frequency while one person's talking, and then change that to the devil's frequency when another person's talking, and influence you that way. I think it's possible.
Look, when's the last time you walked into a strip club?
over
Yeah,
25 years ago, probably.
Yeah,
Wait, Mike. No, I've never been. Never
yeah,
been. I
exactly.
don't know
There
what
you
you're
go.
talking about.
Never been. Well, let me tell you about one. When you walk in, the first thing that they try to hit you with is smell.
Casinos too.
Yes. They try to hit you with smell. Well, strip clubs are little different than a casino. The smell. Let me just, so everyone that's listening at home taking notes. The strip club they're going for different type of smell reaction than the casino. The casino wants you to come in, feel like you're at home, feel like you're just happy. They pump extra oxygen, I hear, the casinos, to keep you high and head elated. You know what I mean? Whereas the strip clubs, they provide you booze and they're scantily clad people. So they're similar but different. Let me get back to what I was going. I was talking about the strip club. I have one strip club story that I have to tell because I just have to. So you've never been to a strip club. Sorry to hear that. When you go to said strip clubs, here's the thing that I don't like about strip clubs. Let me tell you right now. I don't like the fact that they want to get close to you. Like, in other words, I should be at least able to say, hey, I'm going to go sit here with a bunch of dollar bills. Then you can come see me. I guess it's my fault for being there, but it's like, so I remember standing there one time and there was a friend of mine over here and he was being, a bit of a dick himself. And this woman came up near me and the sheer smell that came off this woman was like a wall of heat. It was just intense. I was like, this is the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. And it wasn't like what you think. It was just a funky BO, like, just like she played 19 games of basketball and just Anyways, of course I bought a couple of lap dances. Of course. This is the most ridiculously smelling person I've ever met in my life. I didn't buy them for me, though. No. I bought my friend who was being a dick over there 2 dances in a row. Now, this is one of my favorite jerk moves of my life, and I have a lot. But I remember seeing the girl walk over and being like, yes. I'm like, yeah, he bought your dances. And my friend was like, I remember seeing the what? And then I just remember seeing her. She sat on his lap, and all you could see was her back. The minute his head peeked around the corner, it was, I had tears. I'm in a strip club crying, laughing, like crying. I'm shaking. I'm trying not to laugh. He's so angry with me because he's not the type to tell her, hey, look, you really smell. Get off. You smell. 2 songs. Not to be gross, but he stunk for the night. Like, I can't believe what I did to him. I didn't know I dropped like Agent Orange on him. Like, I had no idea. But that's a use of smell for weaponry.
Yeah.
See, I always try to bring it back around. I know why I'm saying it. But, all right, so now back to the numbers, just really quick. Stay me with this in 1 second. So the pyramids are rumored to be built on what? Vibrations, right? Light and vibration, sound, right?
Right.
To the dumb, no one understands that. No one has a clue what people mean. They go, what do you mean sound? What do you mean hertz? What are you even talking about? But for someone like me, reading the numbers, the matching up of the numbers, the way that works out, that makes more sense to me than anything else. Like, if there was some sort of cosmic plan, or there actually was a thing that we could follow, light, sound, vibrations, but math doesn't lie, really. It's basically going to give you an answer. And when these answers come up the way they do, and the similarities are always the same, and these geniuses like a Tesla realize the importance of certain numbers and how they make engines go and how they make things work. And they all said the same thing. Everyone that I read up on they all said that no one wants you to know this and that no one will ever really want this information to get out for your health, for energy reasons, for all these reasons that were like, man, that's sucky. Like, you know, that's an awful reason. But that's what I read. So if you wanted to read more on that, first off, I don't know what these are called. I'm sorry, but they're
what about this? Ronnie James Dio.
Oh yeah, that was just rock.
All right.
This was I Love You, or Jimmy Fly Superfly Snook if you did this.
Yeah.
If you're a kid my age and you did it like this, you're about to jump on me. If it was like this, it was like, all right. All right. So again, let me get back to this, recap this. We do agree they can use sounds that bother you. I've heard of tortures where they just blast certain sound frequencies at people.
They've also used like rock music.
Yeah, but I know, but not only just because that I get. Because man, if you've ever heard one song over, I've told you about how I have a habit of me and Dave have a habit of when we go in bars and they have that jukebox thing. You put $1 in, it plays your songs. I will go and play Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time, like 4 or 5 times in a row, just to see how long it goes before the owner comes and unplugs it. And every time it gets 3 songs in, that's my Eddie Murphy.
There's your 3
theory. Yeah,
like there's your 3.
So the first time they hear it, people will go. You'll see people go, "Oh, it's Eddie Murphy every time, Party all the time, party all." Comes on again, and they all go, "Ha! Hey, you played it again." The third time it comes on, Dave, I'm telling you, you lose the whole room. It's like that rule of telling 3 jokes. It's the rule of when you show somebody something to sell, you don't show them more than 3 choices because you lose them. So does my mad geekness just reek of geekness, or does it make any sense to you with how I read this about numbers and all this about numbers and vibrations and whatnot, frequencies, and how that light and sound come together? That's 528. How this makes a lot of sense to me, someone of the dumb, even though like I can't really even tell you like the machines they were using to aim at these things to test stuff. I don't know what these Ghostbusters use. I'm just saying like this to me seems like, wouldn't you really want to know more?
Yeah,
this,
like I
really want.
I know I have friends who use like crystal singing bowls, and each one of those will resonate at a frequency, and I'll see like colors, and those colors actually match up with the chakra that the bowl is for and the frequency is for. It's pretty cool. So I think there's something to what you're saying. Definitely.
That's where I get lost. So that's where I get lost when they start bringing in the stones, and the chakra spots in the body and all that stuff. And that. So I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying when they keep adding stuff like that, it gets to where it's more magical now. You're starting to lose me. Like,
but
when you just give me basic math, I'm with it. But the
bowls resonate at a certain frequency. Each bowl has a different frequency.
That's what I'm trying to say. So for someone that's learning this, I'm not going to hear that frequency, am I? Shouldn't I kind of hear it? Like, or no? Like, in other words, these bowls, are they making sounds that I can pick up with my ear?
Yes, they are.
And all right. So that sound helps bring up in your head the color of the.
Like, I'll see colors and other things when someone's doing the bowls. It's like I don't know. It's a pretty cool experience for me.
Does it match? But what I'm trying to say is, do the colors match? Do they match up? Like if you go on the the color chart, the light chart, it brings the light, and the sound chart. How they say there's a correlation with the 528, where that's the exact point where it matches, right?
Yeah.
Are all these colors matched up to certain sounds?
That I don't know. Like, I know they match the chakras.
Yeah.
So like if someone plays the root chakra bowl, that color is red, and I'll see red when someone plays that bowl. Like, I'll have my eyes closed, but in my mind, I'll see red. But I'd be interested to find out if that matches up with the color chart that you're talking about.
Like, in other words, is there a sound that will match? Yeah. Not only does the chakra match up, but you're saying to the color, but now does that sound or that color match up to, like, if I played that sound again without the bowl? I guess it would, because it's all the same note. But it's like, you know what I mean? Because they did it.
Yeah.
experiment with
So
two triangles.
basically, you're talking the frequency, whether it's coming from a bowl or you're playing it out of a speaker.
Yeah,
or
well,
whatever.
well, they did an example with two triangles, right? And he hit it. He's like a Japanese professor. He hit it and it resonated, and then he had his student play the exact same one, same exact model, same tuned. Boom, hit it the other side of the room, same resignation. They put a microphone to hers, and it resonated so much longer to where it drowned out the other one, the first one. So the amplification of the sound actually made it stronger than itself. What I'm trying to say is, like, you can make a sound do more with amplification. Going back to the whole wrapping the copper around a battery,
Right.
going around the whole amplifying ourselves, going around how water is the greatest conduit, how we are made up of X amount of water. It all sounds like we could be batteries. I know that sounds ridiculous, and I'm a little bit ridiculous with my shirt and tie as it is, but I really believe that there is maybe truth to this whole energy thing, where we are energy. We are living energy, like a battery. Now, does a battery run out of energy? I am of the belief that even a dead battery has some sort of energy in it. Like, you know, even you find dead batteries,
Like some residual energy.
Yes, there's like something stuck there. There's got to be a little bit. You can't tell me you sucked every bit of energy out of a battery. I don't know how you would do that. I do not intend for people to suck on batteries. If that's where you thought I was going with that, I do not do that. If you're gonna do it, blame Buddy. Yeah, Dave, that's where I'm at with this. I had a day of like, I just, you know, I did a lot of actually I did this too. We're doing some shows with Block Island Ghost Tours. Third week of June, third week of July, and third week of August. And we have some guests coming down. Tim Weisberg, Michelle Fried are coming down for June. Matt Warner's coming down in July. And Krista Cesare will be coming down in August. But this is a cattle skull that I got from Holly over at Block Island Ghost Tours. And I have just started to paint it Giants colors. I had to boil it first, Dave, because you want to boil these first because they're gross, cattle skulls. But can you see there's a bullet hole right there? That was the hanging hole. And then he's still got all his teeth. So he's going to be a New York Giants cattle skull located in Barr. So far, names, I'm going to go with Mo. The reason I'm going with Mo is just because, quite honestly, when I think of a cow, the first thing I think of is moo. And I think a cow with a name like Mo that said Mo instead of moo could be a really great cartoon for kids. Mo, you know what I mean? Instead of moo, just Mo, like he just announces himself. So I don't know. In my own head, I created Mo. We do have the three big shows, three big weekends coming up though on Block Island. Tickets for those events will be going on sale, I believe, tomorrow. There's going to be like a Friday night greet and hang and drink. There's going to be a whole Saturday of events. And then Sunday is going to be, try to get over your hangover and meet up and, have a brunch. But it's going to be a real good time. And Michelle Fried is someone who can teach astro. What is she? Her
Astral travel?
No, she.
Projection?
Come on. There it is. Because she used to be a producer with Art Bell. So that whole when you can do stuff with your mind other places. I don't know.
Remote viewing?
What's that?
Remote viewing?
There it is. Remote viewing. Although remote control might be one of my favorite game shows.
That was an awesome game show. And remote viewing was like a massive government project that they kind of kept under wraps for a long time.
Yep. And she's someone, so she was once a producer with Art. Tim Weisberg took over that show at one point. He's got now his own national syndicated radio show. And I used to grow up on that Art Bell stuff. and hearing about all remote viewing. When I started hearing about that, I was like, oh, I got to learn that shit. How would I find out about that? And just the fact that someone's coming down that teaches it on a high level. Like,
That's pretty awesome.
She thinks she's going to have like a quiet time. I'm going to be like, dude, just show me one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that guy. I chase magicians around. I can't sit still. But no, those are going to be 3 great weekends. I'm hoping we get everybody down for a couple of those weekends. Maybe just come down for Saturday day and hang out. It's going to be an absolute blast. Like, it's going to be the whatever cons without the con, you know? It's just, we're not going to have any, like, tables with, like, trinkets. And I was calling it, remember you in elementary school, they would call it a bazaar?
Yeah.
The Christmas bazaar.
They still do them. The churches do them.
Do they call them bazaars?
Yeah.
I don't know why they call them bazaars. Maybe I don't know the name, the word correctly, but they would call it a bazaar, and basically it was just they were selling like little handmade stuff the teachers made that they'd want to sell to the kids for $2. Like they put like mom on like an ornament. And you'd go in there with your $5, Dave, and you'd buy stuff from your parents. That's just what you did. But bazaar, huh? Like, yeah. Doesn't that sound a bit, I don't want to say the word again, but weird for that term, for like a selling fest? They just
so you mean I can't, so you mean, you know, I can't take my resin printer and print a bunch of teeth and sell them as Bigfoot tooth necklaces?
No.
Like there's none of that crap going on there.
No, unless they're really Bigfoot's teeth. We'll let that happen. I think we'd have to. If you really had Bigfoot's teeth, I don't think I'd have to buy them myself. Who am I kidding? Like, for real. These are really, I got to wear it. I have a great necklace. Tomorrow night, we have the clip show coming up. Buddy has not told me who will be on, but someone will be on. Friday night will again be Daniel Benoit and the Bigfoot Adventure. Now, you want to talk Bigfoot? This is a guy to talk Bigfoot with. Dan can talk Bigfoot. He knows his Bigfoot stuff. He knows the different styles of Bigfoot, different claims. He knows places. Also, the only place to go for personal care and attention is highharvest.net. Highharvest.net for your legal marijuana edibles. Dave, what do you got to say to wrap up the news?
I got a couple questions I didn't get to ask you. So you said 741 hertz was the devil's what?
That played with 528 is considered the devil's interval.
So is that devil's interval, is that the frequency that David Hasselhoff sings at?
Yeah. Oh, ooh. That's the thing. So I'm going to tell you that we hear it at that frequency, Dave, but I think it's really coming out at 528.
Okay. And then
I think Hasselhoff was gifted by the gods with that.
Or the devil. Maybe he sold his soul.
That's the thing. When we get to this point, it's either way. Either he was gifted by God or he made a deal with the devil, which is weird because you have to make a deal with the devil. And God, it's almost like a handshake type of.
Yeah.
God doesn't do contracts. I like that.
Yeah. And then if I understand this correctly too, because you're talking about the copper wire thing, you're telling me I should, next time I'm at Job Lot, I should clean them out of those like copper socks and copper compression gloves and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I think those are the biggest. That's the biggest joke, waste of money, the copper compression clothing.
So it's not going to amplify my frequencies then?
No.
Damn it.
The other ones. They were once called blue blockers. They are called night vision. They're called driving. There's a million names to the same yellow lens. It was best done by the blue blockers because they had that guy that would just rap. Remember, he would walk up to people on the beach. You remember that guy?
Well,
that
plus
would just
they look like aviators too.
Yeah, but it's the same lens. But do you remember the guy who rapped and how they thought he was such a? And if you ever go back and listen to him in those commercials, he literally says stuff like, "I wear my blue blockers at the beach. I like to wear my blue blockers and I eat a peach." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's rapping."
I do remember that. Yeah. Now that you say it, I do remember that.
You go back and watch it. It makes you feel so bad for where we were as a civilization at that moment of infomercials and the fact that we were amazed that this guy could figure out a way to rap about sunglasses at a tempo that went, we just didn't get it. We didn't get it. We never got it. We've never gotten it. I don't know if we ever will, because I just don't think we'll ever get it, Dave. I'm not very positive of an outlook on things. Now, Samantha Fox, Google Samantha Fox 1980s posters, and that's a good time. Anything else for wrap up, Dave? Any more questions?
So don't buy the copper socks at Job Lot then.
No. For real too, no. Like as an athlete, no. Not that I'm still an athlete. I don't look like one, but I used to be. And I would tell you this: no, too tight. No.
So if I buy the socks, I won't attract Samantha Fox.
When you wear copper socks on your feet, you can dance to a funky beat. That's about as fast as he went. Like, that's about as fast as he went. Anything else to wrap up?
That's all I got.
Hold on.
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I Look Amazing as Kobe Bryant, though. That was an independent movie company, not DC, not Marvel. I'm not going to say who, but I played Kobe Bryant pretty good, I thought.
You should have won an award for that performance, Mike. You were robbed that year.
The whole sweating at the free throw line was tough. Like, I was just like, it was, because I had the bald cap on. It's in my eyes. But they're sticklers for perfection. That's all I got, Dave. I'm good for this. I plan to conclude this broadcast. Take down the green screen. What? I lost you.
I said I just want to send some well wishes to Jean. We hope to have her back next week, and be on the lookout for the ticket sales for tomorrow. You want to remind people of that again? Tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Remind everybody for Block Island Ghost Tours. We have 3 weekends over the summer. It's going to be the third weekend of each month, basically. One's like 1 week off. But they'll be up on their site. We're going to have a paranormal hunt. Not of like paranormal beings, but just like clues and stuff. Fun stuff like that. But it's going to get to learn the person that's going to be there as guest, what they're into, what they're going. It's going to be discussions, conversations, alcohol, the beach in the summer. It is exactly what I would do if I wanted to get a paranormal thing together. I'm not going to put people in these rooms. The same 10 people walking around the room. Let's all have drinks. Like someone who can use their brain to like play pinball or see something across the remote view, something across the country. I want to have a drink with that person. I got questions. So
that's someone I want to hang out with.
Yeah. So it's what those weekends will be there for. Plus, I get to go to the beach. Let's be honest. I get to go to the beach, right? I get to get on a ferry and go to the beach. I mean, I get to hang around with everybody else, but they don't know this yet. Probably just you do. When this starts, I'm leaving them all. They think I'm running this. I got nothing to do with this, Dave. The minute they go, hey, I'm going to the beach. They'll be like, where is he? He's supposed to do all this stuff. And Dave, I'm going to have a blast by myself. I might film it. Who knows? Maybe I'll play some Samantha Fox. Let me tell you something about Samantha Fox. So Samantha Fox was she had a profession before she was a singer. She was
a page three model.
She was a whore. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm just not. I don't mean just. You can hear it now. This is her other song, by the way. It was entitled "Touch Me, I Want Your Body." Oh, look at the kids going. Look at me. Look at the crowd. This Truman is not playing the drums, by the way. He's playing the tom. You watch him playing tom. Look. I don't think the whole band is something 100% on. But he's just a one glove. Hey, look. Oh, it stopped. It's a good thing it stopped, too, because it probably would end up being like Pornhub. Oh, by the way, as before we go,
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
remember that? When's the last
I
time you
do.
heard that? You haven't heard that in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Because you're old. Because you're old.
Yeah.
You rolled with me, Dave. All right. So, for Dreamy David Barr, for the returning jet fuel Gene Broider, it is me, Mike Levery, King Mike L. This was Legit Paranormal News, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. Tomorrow night, Legit Paranormal Clips at 8:05. Thank you to Dave.